Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a different type of vlog, and I'm going to be going with my eldest son who is 16. He's going to be graduating high school soon and he wants to be an aviation technician. So we're going to be going on a tour to the school that he will be going to, which is a technical college locally here. And this is going to be pretty interesting, and I figure I'd take you guys for the ride and on this tour, since maybe one of my viewers might be interested in aviation technology, and maybe you've never seen an aviation school, maybe you've been interested, or maybe you never heard of it. So hopefully this video will be interesting for you to watch, maybe educational, etc, etc. And thanks for watching again, and I will see you in the next shot. Excited to hear me out?
Yes, ma'am.
To the right is what he said.
The price to go here while you're in school is $0. Okay. The price to go if you're not in school runs a little over $8,000. Now, compare that to a school like ours associated with a community college. It's about triple that. For every little private school, it's a little over 5 times the other amount. So it's running about $45,000 to go through a program similar to this out in the real world. Okay? Now, looking at this, the program is split up into 3 areas. This is the general section. The more major portion of this is learning the skills and the rules to be able to work on airplanes. So the general section takes 1 semester, okay, which is 90 days. At the end of 90 days, then you go over to airframe and take what you learn here and apply it over there. You gotta study. This is not high school, okay? It goes quickly and you just keep at it, all right? But here's the thing. We're teaching you electricity and electronics to work on airplanes. But once you learn that skill, you can fix your car, all the electrical. You can fix all your appliances at home, all the electrical, the refrigerator, the toaster, all of it. All works the same, okay? Okay. So once you learn it, then you can apply it everywhere.
Yeah, so we passed my classroom and forgive today. Today is the last day. They got done with their exams, so I got a few of them studying and goofing off. We saw Top Gun Maverick. Have you guys all seen that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not there.
I just saw it. This is my first time seeing it. It was a pretty good movie. I like it. So hopefully you're coming to look at the school to find out options for possible careers. This is a great career choice if you're passionate about just you. All of them. No. What? Okay. So make sure you're passionate about whatever you're about to pursue. How old are you? 16. You got a lot of life ahead of you. I came to this program late. Mom and Dad did this and forced me to go to FSU for 4 years, and I got out 3.5 because I want to be done with it. So I got the done stamp on that, got a college degree. I really didn't do a whole lot with it. And then later on in life, after going from job to job, and it's a job. A career is something that fulfills you and stirs your interest and keeps you going. And it was a long time before I got to a career. But my hobbies has always been transportation. Whether it's JB skating, whether it's riding motorcycles, flying airplanes, flying helicopters. I do one-wheel unicycle stuff, so that's kind of my passion. So later on, having that as a hobby, I ended up coming through the program on my own. So even if this, I mean, Mr. Jersey might have said the same thing. LiQWYD has a lot of programs. Obviously, you're here with a big support staff. Everybody's wanting you to be successful. So make sure you're not letting somebody lead you in a direction. They're wanting to help lead you, but you have to also guide them on what you want. So hopefully we've got that, and this is what you want. Right now, starting pay out of here is $28 to $36 an hour. Pretty good money, isn't it? That's real good money. Now, right now, you can't be in Tallahassee to make that money, but that might change. We're told a few hundred jobs here, possibly at the airport, and not so long. So, if you come to the program, there are some hurdles, even if you're passionate about it. There's a lot of studying you got to do. I went through the same program myself, and the hardest part for me was general. Was the math. Now back then you had to do all the math longhand. I mean, it was forced on you. Mr. Jersey wasn't here doing it. You had to do long, I mean, when I'm talking long division, the problem was the whole size of the page. So there's things that you're gonna have over here that maybe you're not gonna be like too much, but you gotta think about, okay, this is gonna get me in the career, this is gonna move me on. So as we move to my classroom, and Mr. Jersey has one too, the TV screen is actually a computer. So I'll do Kahoots and do interactive stuff with the students in the classroom. So when you come over here, it's more like 60-40 with the projects. 60% of it you're going to be out here, but part of that project might also be doing some paperwork and maybe doing some research. 40% is going to be lectures, going to be I use King Schools, which plays a little video and then ask questions at the end, and we'll kind of go around and kind of do some stuff in the classroom that way and try to find different ways since people learn differently. So that's kind of how my class goes. So with Mr. Jersey, you have 4 phases. With me, you have 6 phases. And then Power Plant, you have another 6 phases. So that being said, we try to encourage people as they leave the 4 phases from general that you do what we call the comps, which is a practice FAA exam, and get those done. Okay, because that's what I like. I like doing this, it's getting a done stamp and getting credit for it. Because we have people that move all the way through the program and they don't have no done stamps. I want some done stamps. So after you leave me, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9, that's 10 phases, you are eligible for an airframe certification. That is an actual FAA license, and you could have that in your pocket, and you keep that in your pocket forever. Now, if you were to take this and you come on through here, you move through the program, and you get through my class, and you go to the power plant, and you don't have no done stamps, you have nothing to show for the program yet. There's a lot of information that we go over, a lot of possible test questions and everything. So the most successful students, when they get done in my program, they're ready to test. Right, Mr. Prophet? You see that man right over there? Because you can see some people goofing off right now, but that man right there, he's studying for the test. He's got the earplugs on right there, because he's ready. I just handed him his 147 card. Can we look at it?
He's talking about his FAA exams. He's ready for his FAA.
So this allows him to do his FAA exams, all right? And this one's pretty good right here. Look at that. So this he actually takes to a testing center, and we're trying to get lively on that. So if I hold that back here real far without you looking at the grid too much, every one of them over here starts with a 9. You see that? So the productive student is going to constantly be studying and having stuff they can do. Now this is an adult education program, and like I said, today's a little lazy, but I can walk around here and the students that are highly successful are still doing things to move through their training process. Because you got your test, what, tomorrow? You doing both of them or just one? Did you sign up for general yet? Okay, so that's a tough test. So that's you got to pay out of pocket for that. How much was it? $175. So he has to take 2 exams at 175, and then he's ready for his oral and his practical. That's where you sit down and they're gonna say, tell us what an aileron is, and how does that represent differential control? And believe it or not, it'd be not too long from now you'll be able to tell us all about all that. You see what I'm saying? And how to calculate weight and balance and stuff like that. So you're gonna orally be quizzed by somebody, and that can take several hours. And then there's a practical part where you actually have to change a tire or balance an aileron or buck a rivet and do some different things. So what you're going to get here is you're going to get a basic skill level of what we're going to give you. I'm not going to make you a mechanic, okay? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try a little bit and give you some tool dexterity here or there, but if you can get anything outside of the school, working on lawnmowers, working on your car, doing a diagnostic, oil changes, that kind of stuff, it will help you along. But what we do is we give you that license to learn. As we have practical activities, like my next class, I got 25 students. So I'll be splitting you up in groups. And if you're the student that's shy, I'll put 5 of them in a group, and you could be the one back there. Yeah, I can do that. What I want is I want you the one over there doing this. I want you in the computer lab. Okay, here's the research on this. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of the program is what you're going to make of it too. You see what I'm saying? So you kind of see where we're going on that. Let's go out here. So I got a welding shop here, and we also have live aircraft that we work on as well. So sometimes to get the idea of how a system works or operates, we'll kind of come over here, and then if we have it out on the aircraft, we'll also go out on the aircraft. So basically it's, how does this process operate? Do you understand how this operation is performed? Are you able to explain this? And then as I find out, if the DME, that's a designated maintenance examiner, if I know they used or do something, a lot of times they're going to use a project that's here if you test here at this facility. So if you understand all of this, that's going to help you on your practice. The school, the first license that I know about was 1942. So the school's been around a long time. Some of our training aids are almost that old. This is our welding shop. So sometimes the curriculum is still a little old school. So basically what I have to teach you according to the ACS and the PTS, which are guidelines, is how to operate an oxygen and acetylene rig. Too many people out there doing oxygen and acetylene welding. So I'll show you how to do that, how to set it up, because you can be tested on it. Okay? So that's going to be turn it on, set a neutral flame, and be able to shut it off properly. We do have a MIG welder. We might play around with that a little bit as well. So as you know, as we come into here, are you Dad? Yes. Okay. You can kind of see that, okay, now we got flames, we got high heat, we got grinders. You can get hurt here too. I've had students, as a matter of fact, I threw the dude's glove away. He's still here at school. He went in here grinding on something and the glove got caught and pulled him into it. So you got to use this up here, make sure you got your PPE on. Late 70s, like early 80s, along with this, some homemade training aids that we use. They do still operate. We are looking at trying to get some new stuff in. This is going to be our paint room right here. Repairs on fiberglass, and they might do some painting or whatever. So if you have to deal with some fumes, normally we come in here, I turn that fan on here. Really close everything out here, respirator, that kind of stuff. So we'll use this shop area here for doing painting and dusting. 172, that's a Cessna. Just got a couple of helicopters. Take the wings off of them, take all the control surfaces off, put the wings back on, rig the aircraft back for it to be correct. The engines, we'll run the engines. You'll take the magnetos off, go through the magnetos, all that kind of stuff. This aircraft you'll pull the landing gear out of, put the landing gear back in it. Same thing with that T-34 back there. You'll take the landing gear out of it, and you'll do some various electrical projects on that. When I mean antique aircraft, I mean antique aircraft. So we're putting that on gov deals. We'll put that on gov deals. I've got a Bell 47 helicopter. We'll put on gov deals. Model 47. That's the unit type. So even though most of our aircraft are runnable on the ground where you taxi them around and everything, we do have some engine test cells. So over here we have a constant speed propeller, means the propeller is variable pitched, and that is hooked to a reciprocating engine, which is like a gasoline engine with 6 cylinders and fuel injection. And that engine can be run in here, where you have the safety of being away from it. You can go in there and do various projects, remove the prop, adjust the prop, do pull a cylinder, that kind of stuff. Over here we have a turbine engine, which you would refer to like as a jet engine. That's a small engine that you normally see on a lot of helicopters. So you're able to run that engine, being able to do compressor washes and different things on that, and then you can come in here and run that engine and get an idea how that operates. All right, so we got neat airplanes that we can work on. We've got sometimes practical projects that might not be so fun. You got book work you got to do. All of it is a means to an end. Now, if you look at this airplane right here versus this airplane, they look kind of similar, don't they? Okay, so all this is aluminum construction. This is a Mooney, and this is about 180 knot aircraft. Does over 200 miles an hour. This one is close to it. Okay, so here's what I want you to see. Come to it close. You know what it's made out of?
What's aluminum?
Wood. This is one of the last old school, made out of wood. This is fabric that covers it. See, this is fabric right here. I used to do a lot of fabric covering. Okay, so this is wood aircraft. Now this aircraft, you can look it up on a Tallahassee Democrat, ran out of gas and actually landed on Capitol Circle. Right there. I mean, they missed the airport by not a whole lot. And so it was ended up being donated to us. And so we've got some leaks where it hit the ground hard, and then it was hoisted. There was some damage done by the crane, but we ended up getting this aircraft. You see how smooth the airflow is on this? So that's kind of what we call like a laminar flow, similar to what they tried to attain on the Mooney. You know, that's a newer technology. And of course, basically everything we teach is what we call Part 91, which is like more of a general aviation, not the standards aren't for airliners, so to speak. But we're laying a lot of that stuff today. We actually have what we call Open Fabric Project, which is actually where you're going to cover a surface with fabric and paint it. And what this is most of this is going to be a Dacron, which is polyester type fabric, and you actually heat tauten it. So once you apply heat to it with an iron, it then tightens everything up. So, and are you going to ever cover anything with fabric? Probably not, but that's part of our standards. Now, I used to do a lot of that in bathing chemicals. I mean, that's kind of, now they have some newer processes that are actually all water-based, but probably if your interest is going toward the airlines or commuter or cargo or whatever, you're not going to touch any of that. And a lot of it's moving towards composites, not even sheet metal. So a lot of times if you go into that type of field, you're going to specialize as a composites person or a sheet metal person or a line mechanic, something like that. And I mean, Dennis might have told you, but about every 9 weeks, we got PSA Airlines coming in, Standard Aero, GE with Raleigh, Durham, and also out of Illinois trying to hire people. I mean, if you have an A&P, I can promise you that you will offer you a job and it's going to be a minimum of $28 an hour. If everything stays like it is, minimum, I can guarantee that. Now, whether you keep that job, that's going to be up to you. You see what I'm saying? Because they're going to try to weed some people out. But right now, if you have an A&P, $28, $36. Clean work. You know, you might have to do the night shift for a while, but it's not like you know, cars, all that. We got a welding program that's really good, and that's a lot of hard work. And confined spaces dealing with all that. Great job, great money. But we get students come in from time to time and they'll give us a talk and say, hey, tell students how your job is, what do you do? Well, when I come in, we mess around for an hour, play on our phones, wait for an airplane to show up. Airplane shows up, I work for an hour, then 3 hours we're playing on our phones.
Oh, that's perfect.
You know what I mean? So, no, depending on where you go, there are some places where, and if you want, we can get you. I'm that way. Idle hands are the devil's tools. So if I have too much free time on my hands, I get into shenanigans. So depending on what you want. So you could be in this industry for a long time. I mean, you can't be a welder working in a shipyard till you're in your 60s. You probably, unless you're Superman. I mean, there's some people that do that, but my back would be shot and everything else. So, let's go take a look at power plants. All right. This is a T-34. This is an old war training aircraft. After this thing was released from the military, it was then grabbed up by the Florida Forest Service, and Florida Forest Service uses one of the patrol aircraft. So it was donated to the school. I did 16 years at the Florida Forest Service. I was their aviation maintenance administrator. And I used to run the helicopters out and fly them and stuff. One of the neat things is, and I'm definitely not the smartest person here, I have 8 FAA certifications. So I've sat down and actually taken all these tests, taken more tests, had to sit down with either a designated pilot examiner or a designated maintenance examiner. So I know the shortcuts on things, and it's kind of like, I'll tell you, the best way to get your licenses here is as soon as you're able, get the airframe done. Because all this stuff will seep out of your mind. It's all perishable. You know what I mean by that? So you can study, and you put a little bit of experience to it, but unless you're constantly on that, you have to keep all that information in your mind. So the easiest way to get your certifications is not wait till you get over here. I'm going to say that to you. You're going to hear me say that 1,000,000 more times. Okay? And the sooner you have that, now you have more skin in the game. You've made something out of the program. Going on over here, I'm looking at getting us another helicopter. I'm kind of a helicopter guy too. I cut my teeth on ultralights, experimentals, and flew them all over the place. I love helicopters. And this thing was in it. I think the story was a student failed a test a long time ago. Came out here and threw a book through the bubble. But this is an old school style helicopter. This is, retired military OH-58. The sheriff's department flies something that looks like this, which is actually a Bell 206B3, and now they have a 505, but we go through the rotor systems and kind of give you a generic background on how all that stuff works. Usually you either want to be a helicopter guy or you want to be an airplane guy, and then you kind of figure out, well, if I'm going to be an airplane guy, I want to go to work for FedEx, or I want to work for the airlines. So that's one thing as you come through the program is kind of figure out exactly where you want to be. Where do you want to fit into all this? All right, so this over here, this is the power plant side, just like the airframe side. You're going to have an area, a shop area, and some of these students here are working on projects and stuff. All right, so you're going to have practical stuff that you do here. You have some reciprocating engines. You'll take those all apart, put them back together. Power plant classroom set up. And all this changes from every time we do a class, depending on how many students we got. I'm lucky right now I have 12. I'm fixing to have 25, and that's a lot of students. So, anyhow, he also has some computers in the back of the classroom there that you can log into to do some self-study activities. So we have some computer-based stuff that we give you as well. Okay, so I'll try to do Kahoots, because that way you get to use your phone for real. You know what I mean? And it's not, oh yeah, all right, or so. Anyhow, so you can use your phone. That way I can see how many people understand the questions that I'm asking. And then I might need to reinforce that with some more training. So when I talked about the fabric and everything, that's fabric. So if you saw the airplane that Maverick had at the beginning, he actually owns that P-51 Mustang personally. He has a lot of pilot licenses and everything, helicopter pilot, does all his own stunts, but that P-51 has fabric control surfaces.
Now what type of equipment would he need for school?
He needs to bring this.
He's got that.
He needs to show up on time.
He's got that.
He needs maybe a pad to write down some notes.
Got plenty of that.
And then we give him everything else, basically.
All right, good. We're ready to go.
On time with a good attitude.
Oh, we can't leave him today? No. Okay. All right.
Drop him off all of Christmas. We can lock you in here.
Give him a head start.
Sound good? You excited?
I am.
Okay?
Good to see everybody. Have a good Christmas. Anybody getting some? What are we getting for Christmas?
Ready for this?
Okay, good. I love it. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Take care.
Be good.
too.
So Nehemiah, how do you feel about this?
Oh, I'm excited, and I'm prepared for. Well, I hope I'll be able to become more prepared for it. But I'm very excited,
Yep.
and yeah, I've never done anything like this before, of course. So
That's good. Alright guys, that's the end of today's vlog. Kind of like a tour slash vlog of me taking my eldest son to his future community college, technical college class that he will be going to. We're all excited for him. So yeah, thanks for watching my video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.